accounts over to my side server, which all it was I had my own YouTube channel and my Discord was linked onto there, and so people from LCU would just join, right? So to save myself hassle after all this happened, you know, Keem suggested, he was like, why don't you just delete the side server and, you know, just be done with it? And I was like, you know, fuck it, whatever. And he made the split VCs for each show so that I had somewhere where I could go and not feel like I'm being bombarded and just like a regular VC constantly, because that's what it used to be. And then I deleted my side server, just made an announcement saying it was gone. That was that, and I haven't opened a new one since.
Yeah, I guess that's fair. I mean, my thing is like I like to keep the LCU and like my own, like, because I think I've been like 2018, 2019. Like I have friends that like I met like over 7 years. Like I still didn't know what to see. So it's like I just keep, and they don't even know that I'm a streamer here. Like I keep my world separate. Like
that's
no offense, everything's right in the kindest way possible. Holy shit, dude. We shut the fuck up.
No.
The LCU, yo, some of these people are crazy. Like what? Like someone like no. I got into it because someone like found my kick and then they posted a screenshot in chat. Some dumbass, some idiot goes like, you're not like, Ma, you're not just screaming because of VCs. She's screaming VCs. You dumb bitch. Name one person from that screenshot that's in this server quickly. And then they go, oh well, I didn't know. Yeah, that's the problem. You hop on a train, you don't even know where it's going, bitch. Swing it. Oh, here's my ticket. I'm Charlie the Chocolate Factory. I got the golden ticket, bitch. Whole time it's fucking bronze. You don't even know what's what. Just talking. So after that, I was like, ew.
Yeah, they will be looking. The people at the fucking LCU will look into any fucking internet history you've ever had. They will dig shit up. That's just how they work.
Yep. I mean, we saw that yesterday with Grim. I mean, they didn't even dig shit up. It was right there on a fucking lolcow stream. So.
Like, counterintuitive because it pissed me off. It pissed me off personally because it made no sense. It's just like the amount of like mental degradation to get to that standpoint to where you're posting my kick in the server that no one knew, saying that I'm pillaging from the server. Do you not think that in you posting my kick in the fucking link, that's going to drive people? They're like, did you not think? Like, was there look how stupid you look.
And like you can't do that, you know? You can't post that shit in there because like what is it, like self or like promotion or whatever, like another stream.
You're trying to reprimand me for self-promoting as you're promoting on my behalf when I've never like, does that make sense?
Such a rage.
Like, and I tweeted, like, I saw that shit, and I crashed on Nightmare because like Nightmare mentioned it up, like we were arguing with VC, and then that's when I was like, I despise Nightmare. I was like, I want nothing to do with you. Don't ever even like join a call that I did. I was like, I will leave it. I want nothing to do with you. But like we've hashed it out. Nightmare did help us with our audio, so the doll's audio is better today. I can hear TTS now, so shout out Nightmare for that. He's not bad. You know, like we're all people, but like I was just like, why? And that's why the internet that gets me. Like, how do y'all cope with that? How do you cope with that absolute like ludicrous behavior and asinine idiocy on the internet?
You haven't had a crash out like I did, and then it ends up your top earning stream that month, and then you know it's fine.
I'm going to be very, very real when I say this. I did not watch a lot of holy moly. Hopefully the volume is high. I watched a lot of Cafe, and I don't remember much of it. For some weird reason, I thought Brantley was going to pop up on Cafe. It was just Glammy and Batgirl, and then they just came around, and they were just kind of talking about a bunch of stuff that I didn't really find that interesting or relevant to these chains of events. I really don't know. It's funny because it's only Tuesday for the most part, coming off of like the whole thing that happened on Monday. We'll get into it when we get into it later on the day. I don't know. Not much really happened in Cafe. It was just them going on. It was like, you know, lolcow dolls, but it was like basically pre-lolcow dolls. Honestly, without Ken there sometimes, it doesn't, not saying it's bad particularly, it just doesn't feel right without Ken in Cafe. And they were streaming for 4 hours. I hope it's 4 hours. Yeah, they were streaming like 4 hours. I'm good.
Is very deliberate with what she does. I mean, the whole question last night with Billy was whether or not she was LARPing. Like, was this like a ploy to like get to a point where she's at now, or like was she actually meaning what she said when she sent in that message about being prostituted? My opinion on Sweet Tea is the fact that she came in here initially with like this like bodacious character of just, I'm gonna say what I want when I want to say it, But then as time has gone on, she's become a yes and person and sucking up to Keem, which is the right thing to do theoretically if you want to stay here when everyone hates you. But just the change in her personality over time shows the fact that she's self-aware, she's capable of change, and that she's thinking of her actions before she does them. So all the grace that she's being given, that's not necessarily a question of like, oh, should you give her grace or not? It's just be very mindful of the fact that everyone here to a degree is a character, including people who you think are NPCs. They're still coded. And that's all I'm gonna say.
Well, I kind of agree with you, but real quick, we have Pirate Contra, who's a member for 1 month, Banworld. Thank you so much, Pirate. Dolls. Today's going to be interesting. Also, WY is Pups came low res right now. Why is your camera so low res right now? Do you have Nitro, by the way? Oh, it fixed itself.
I do. It fixed, okay, there. I closed another tab. I have another tab open.
Girl, your MacBook cannot handle streaming for nothing.
Yeah, I'm gonna point every other thing I have open.
So real quick. You better watch your accusations, Split. You gonna turn more people off of that girl. What is that supposed to mean, Billy the Fridge? Before we get into that, welcome, Sweet Tea. How do you feel about finally being a host and being a host on Lolcow Dolls nonetheless?
I'm very excited about it, but where I went through hell last night, it's been hard to celebrate.
Been through hell last night. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Well, I didn't want it to be discussed. I was hoping Billy would just, read it and say, okay, I'm sorry for making you feel uncomfortable, everything's cool, but I really didn't want to make it public. But they made me feel a little bit uncomfortable, and that's all there is to it. And I didn't want to do where I agreed to it. I felt like I kind of had to give him some kind of explanation why I wasn't going to do what I said I was going to do, like talk to him or whatever. And I thought I might as well explain my feelings while I'm here.
Okay, so again, when it comes to the lolcow universe, Rewind is going to cover all the drama that happens throughout the day, right? So having that expectation of Billy is not going to cover this, especially when it's an accusation against him, that's girl, you really thought that he was going to leave that alone?
I kind of did. He said that he wanted to get out in front of it, and I thought that was a bad choice of words, but sure. I wasn't going to say anything publicly about it, but it's fine.
I mean, we'll get into that real quick. We have Lunchbox, which is a member for 2 months. Thank you so much, Lunchbox. The other thing that we're going to talk about, kind of to get you in the mood, because you seem very detached right now, what is this episode's fashion theme, I guess you can say?
You told me last minute pajamas, so I had to pull something out of my butt, because I normally don't really wear pajamas very much.
You don't wear pajamas?
I'll just wear normally a pair of shorts and basketball shorts and a tank top or a loose fitting shirt.
Okay. So real quick, do you want to show off your outfit real quick, sweet tea?
I couldn't find a cool top, but I found they got like superheroes on them.
At least you look
Oh my God,
comfortable.
fit check from you, Miss Beans. You're next.
A fit check from me.
So let's talk about the situation, right, that they're kind of talking about, which is relating to Sweet Tea, which they do later on in the day with Lolcow Live, they bring up the whole situation with Sweet Tea. Personally, my personal opinion on that situation comes down to what do you expect when you bring in randos from the internet? What did you expect, especially a girl like her that is maybe a very opportunist and who's probably picking up a lot of traits from people like Becky? I'm not saying this is something that Becky would do, but this is something I can see Becky could do if she wanted to, because Becky has admitted in the past that if she ever is pushed to the edge, she'll say whatever she has to get herself out of it, like a trapped animal, like a rat. And knowing how people can be like that, it's very dangerous. And Sweet Tea is very similar to that, right? Also, it probably doesn't help that she's in Lolcow Dolls, where you have a bunch of women hyping her up, which is not a good thing, which is, you can say, extremely dangerous, right? I'm not trying to come off as some type of incel, but like the way they're kind of hyping her up and kind of like affirmation and doing all of it may not be the best thing. I mean, you could still do it, but it's like, hey, you are kind of doing something to this girl mentally where she's kind of able to pull this stuff off, and she's gonna keep doing it a number of times like Becky.
Few things happen in like pairs. We had the panty shots happen with Pupstar and Desi on the same day.
That's true.
It's so funny.
That is. I don't even wear panties personally, so
No.
I'm glad you
feel
wore
like
some
you
that
did
day.
and I'm wearing them right now, and they're pink.
I don't know if my camera's working.
Your camera.
Yeah, you're on.
Yeah.
They just want to say hello real quick.
Oh,
Oh, you got double doggies?
Double dog.
There's three of them.
They're
Also, I
like-
got my chest stabbed today.
Oh my God.
It's really painful.
That
you
looks
said
beat up. You're raw.
in the Discord, you said that you give mad respect to Buff Weeb because it was so painful.
Fucking right. He went towards the nipple. I said, please don't tattoo the nipple. He goes, I'm not going to tattoo the nipple today. And then just started laughing. Like, my artist is an actual fucking psychopath. Like, he is fucking insane. He likes people being in pain. That's why he went into the field. It wasn't due to talent.
Oh,
That's how I feel about surgeons.
that's how you feel
I
about
think
what? Surgeons?
surgeons. I think that they all have to have like a little bit of like sadism in them to actually do the job.
Hey,
good.
I don't think it's sadism. I think it's a god complex.
I don't
I
think
think
it's,
it's association.
it's not a god complex. It's a fascination, and like it's interesting to see the lack of reaction to like blood and stuff, because it's really everything is just red. When you cut up in a body, it's just all red. You can't really make anything out. But it's interesting because you should have a natural reaction to be opposed to like the gore that you're.
Yeah, there has to be something different with their brain.
Duly noted. Never piss off that stuff.
Yeah, how,
Like,
Yes, I'm gonna dissect you. I'm gonna give you a laminectomy. I'm gonna cut up into your spine. I'm gonna open it and fillet it and remove your spinal cord and take your DRGs and put them in tubes.
That night that after
Get it.
we were on the VC, I had the worst nightmare I've ever had in my life. I woke up.
No, you keep me on this one. I've had enough today. I've had enough publicity. Thanks, VP. Appreciate you.
Did you wake up?
I'm off now.
Or is
Okay?
it?
You guys have an amazing show. Take
Later,
care.
Nightmare.
Nightmare, thank you so much.
Bye.
So wait, did you wake up or is the nightmare still continuing? Wake up, sweetie. Wake
It
up.
might have been. Yeah, hell, for all I know, I'd probably.
Wait, sweetie. This is the double show. So I want to ask you just a really important question here. So you said that you didn't want. I'm not gonna. You said that you didn't want to leave because you're so taken aback and appalled. You were shocked. Is it safe to say that you felt? Fuck, I can't lock in. Did you feel safe in that moment, in the presence of Billy, virtually, him in all his glory?
Understand the question. Did I feel like Billy was going to jump through the screen and kill me? Is that what you're trying to say?
But did you feel safe with your device and your microphone and that disconnect button right there? Did you feel safe, or did it mean nothing that this was all virtual and you could have left?
I don't know.
I think something that we are not really addressing is that, okay, this is Discord. Obviously, this is all virtual. Obviously, like, Billy is a big jokester and things like that. But when it comes to you and your actions, you do not take a lot of accountability. And we discussed this yesterday. We got in a very heated discussion about it. And then you continue to do so. So you say things and you think that nobody is going to say anything or bring it up on stream because you called him out. You just thought that he was going to leave it alone, especially saying that he was pimping you out.
If someone came to me with what I had told him, which was basically just me saying that I didn't feel comfortable with the whole thing, I'm not going to be part of it. And saying I've got a job anyway, so if that was the point, I felt like what I said.
Do you realize when you come at me with a message so full of falsehoods, I have to feel like you're doing some sort of a smear campaign? I have to feel like there's.
All right. So they get into this whole topic of like surgeries and tattoos. Only reason I'm adding it in this because sometimes I like to add random clips of them just talking about something, and I just want to talk about it. Most of dolls for the most part, they didn't really get into the whole Grimm situation, which is funny because they got into it, or no, Beans kind of got into it just a little bit later on in Rewind. We'll get into that when we get into that. Hopefully this won't be a long video compared to the last couple of videos which I've been making, which are very long. And now I remember what I was going to say relating to the whole tattoo and surgeon. I think for a tattooist or a surgeon, I think you need to have a certain skill or a certain mindset of just not being afraid to cut somebody open. I'm not saying you can't have a certain reaction or flinch, but I think there's a certain mindset of like, you gotta do it. It's like sort of how like some cooks have to withstand high temperatures. Because, like, sometimes you're cooking and a fire can erupt because of a little bit of, grease, right? Too much grease on the pan, right? So it's something similar to that where you have to kind of, like, just go into it mentally and not back down. Because if you back down, then you're going to make a mistake, and that mistake can be very costly, right? Compared, like, with a tattoo, one slip up on one, like, accidental, like, twitch or flinch can result in like damage to the skin, right? And damage to the tattoo. Whereas I'm trying to remember. Whereas the same thing with a surgeon has to be ready, or surgeon has to be mentally going, because if they mess up, and let's be fair, even with all that information, there has been a number of times where surgeons and tattooers have messed up. Like, it's a reported case. I don't know, like, the exact number, right? But there are a lot of surgeons that... Not a lot of surgeons, but there is a lot of, like, surgeons that do, get a lawsuit or get their license revoked because of this malpractice, right? It does happen for a reason. So I guess you need to be a certain mindset. I don't know where I'm going with it. I just wanted to talk about this. Just like the Kingdom Hearts stuff they did in Nerd, I like to randomly pick random stuff like this and just talk about it because it fills in the time gap. But we're going to move on.
Look, oh my God, look, like, all I'm saying is, whatever me and Nightmare had, I just wanted to make fun of him bitching out, but I literally think, like, the lolcow cocoon that he was in. What? Oh, I saw you messaged me, holy shit.
You might as well just say it to him.
All right, this is perfect. Yeah, can I come apologize publicly? Yeah, you don't have to, you can pop in
I
whenever,
don't think
bro.
you really need to apologize, man.
What do you mean apologize? No.
I gotta go wait in some respect.
There will be no apologies here, bro. Because at the end of the day, when you apologize, you're acknowledging the past. From here on, from that stream on, Nightmare, this is a whole new you. Whatever happened between me and you, bro, is gone. I'm letting you know something. Not only do we have a heart of the duelist, me and you both have Dragon Ball tattoos. Me and you are motherfucking soul brothers, bro. Like, I want to let you know, I had to come at you just because that's my job. You know, we're nerds,
No, I
also
get
we're in
it.
the drama community. But there's no need to apologize, bro. We're already cool. We already, you know what, domain extension, buddy forgiveness. Fuck you mean? Like there's no need. I love you, bro. And I saw the sorrow on your face. Like, I'm not gonna lie, it damn near made me cry. Like,
Sorry. I'll turn my camera on now. I am shirtless, by the way. I do apologize, but I am covered. It's because I can't put a fucking t-shirt on right now. It hurts too much.
Such is life. Oh, you got a tattoo today?
Yeah, it really fucking hurts.
What'd you
I don't know what the fuck you did. I got a wolf on this side, all the outline and some shading, and then the dragon on this side. It hurts like a bitch. Dude, he went so close to the nipple. I was like, please don't tattoo my nipple. And he was like,
oh yeah.
He said, I won't today. He's like, that's the next session. I'm like, cool.
This one's right above the areola. So, oh my god, the shading. I've lost a lot of shading because I wore a shirt. So,
with everything going on, like, I haven't even fucking slept. I had like 2.5 hours sleep.
Stop doing that to yourself.
I can't do I was about to sleep before fucking live went up, and I'm like, fuck. Okay, guess I ain't fucking sleeping now because I can't just not go up in that situation. Do you know what I mean? And then all the stress of everything was just
Laser
like, it was just so fucking.
123 super chatted $20. Spirit of the Grey is being exorcised from nightmare. # become green brother.
The exorcism is beginning. That's why we're both shirtless. That's how we contact the spirit. But no, continue.
I just read that. Jesus Christ. Yeah, it's just the stress of everything. Do you know what I mean? And then coming to terms of like you know, this week's just not been great. You know what I mean? You know, that's probably fucking lightly. But like, you know, then like shit get to me. And I don't usually get to me, and I fucking like, you know, a lot of. To be fair, on the weekend I've been doing a lot of reflecting on and thinking like, what the fuck am I doing to myself? Like, because I've never ever been in, like, you know, I had a best mate that when my fucking dog passed away, he brought me Chinese food over. You know what I mean? To fuck with me, like that's the kind of fucking shit that usually get thrown at me, right?
Yeah.
Like, I've never ever got to a point where I'm like, fucking such like little pathetic dilute things fucking upset me or like fucking get me in my fucking feels, you know? And I'm like, why is that happening? And I'm just thinking, fucking, is it? Because everything like, is there shit going on in the background? Because there's shit going on in the background, like, but like, I can use that as a fucking excuse because that's a fucking cop out. You know what I mean?
And that's very commendable. Like, I don't know if you heard anything that we were saying beforehand, but I think the way that you handled yourself last night, like, honestly, was like very respectful.
I know he fucked up. He did a massive fuck up. I still felt like I stabbed him in the back because like I said, I know that people are gonna have their opinion, and I get it, right? I get why they think that way about him with the situation, but like, he's still like a brother to me, so it fucking hurt.
But it's not
to
you.
fucking do
Remember,
that.
he stabbed you in the back first when he put you in a position where you had to even go up on live and defend a clip like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, remember how mad you got about the Drake situation? Think about your co-host put you in that position. He stabbed you in the back first, dude.
Bro, look. You can't support people. You can love people and not support what they did in their past. I'm gonna let you know something. I'll tell you some very, very deep lore about me right now. My dad is a murderer.
Fucking hell.
I don't look at myself as what he does. Like, I love my dad to death, but just doesn't mean that what the hell happened. You know, I can't condone what happened in the past. I can't condone his actions. I only can look forward to the man that my dad chooses to be in the future. Just like when it comes to Grimm, you love him to death. That is your brother. That is your soulmate. And I will be damned if you come up here with anything besides less of an ounce of respect for him. And I fucking respect that about you. You care about him, even though you know he fucked up. Every time you criticized him last night when he donated, you literally tore yourself up criticizing him. You tore pieces of yourself. You tore the pieces of yourself out of you to give a genuine response to this, a genuine feeling to this. And don't feel bad about what he did at all. It's the same way. Why the fuck would you be more...
So Nightmare went on Nerds to more or less apologize about the situation and kind of just give his own feelings about what happened. Now, I didn't want to test this morning. I'm recording this like literally as cafe just started. So it's 8:08 a.m. Video probably won't be uploaded till like the afternoon or probably just as the beginning. I don't know when. Probably right away when I get done rendering and getting everything done. This video will be uploaded right after that. So some point either in cafe or dolls. But what I'm trying to say is we are seeing a lot of hosts kind of at least attempting to mend the bridge, attempting to stop really fighting for now. And Nightmare is sort of the first one. We've seen this before. We've seen this with Beans already. We've seen this with Nerds already. We're seeing it with Nightmare. You know, where we have different hosts who have issues with each other kind of come in and mend the bridge as an attempt to, I guess, Akeem started wanting to create a family or create this sort of block. I don't know where I'm going with that, idea or metaphor. I think I'm just trying to point out that you're seeing these mending of the bridges, right? And it makes sense. People are going to still cover drama no matter what. People are going to still get into fights. That's just a natural course of just working with everybody, especially as, and I think in this case they even admit that Nightmare did develop a big head from the success that Tess did gain. I would even say like Tess, I believe in one of those charged Tess was number 3, and they earned that by just constantly grinding without pause or break. You know, why is that exactly? Why did they do that? Why did they continue with the grind, right? And I think what it is there's a certain pridefulness you need to have to if you want to succeed, you got to put in the work. And I respect that. I do respect somebody putting in the time for what they find and trying to be successful. I mean, the nerds have done that. That's why, you know, they've been doing whatever they can to be successful and not really fall into a lot of the trappings. All right. And for Nightmare to come on here, which is kind of getting back to my original point, is a good thing. Now, they said they're still going to fight down the line. These people are still going to fight. But for this moment, I think Nightmare is trying to show needs a friend, right? He needs a friend. He needs somebody to lean on in these hard times because it is scary, right? You lost a host. You lost your best friend. Now, what are you going to do, right? What are you going to do in this moment? You know, he could lean on his fans, but that could lead into like a parasocial relationship, a really bad one. And Tess has been accused of that. He could lean on his own family, but, you know, stuff like this is difficult to explain to people. So obviously, the best option is to lean to people who know what you're going through. And Nightmare coming in here as an attempt to mend the bridge. Now, later on in Tess, they did mend the bridge, and Billy would be on there. That's it. Not really much I can say. They did later on go into the whole Grim situation, and after that, they just kind of went away. They did talk about a little bit of sweet tea, but again, we'll wait into that later. We'll talk about the sweet tea stuff when we get into live. Now, before we move on, I would have a clip of Milkers right here, and we are gonna talk about that when we get into both Queens and live. But you know, Roxy and really Becky did something really stupid, which is they went to McDonald's because they wanted to do IRL streaming. Cool. They didn't realize they went to a bathroom, and it is kind of common sense to not record stuff in the bathroom. You know what I mean? Like, especially if you're live streaming, because there's a lot of laws and all that kind of stuff. Sorry for that noise, but oh boy, did they fucked up hard.
It was funny to say that he was the one that put it on the computer to stop you from having cameras because only he can work them.
Yeah, true. Okay. Let's get into some stuff. We got to deal with Roxy. Get her in here. Roxy, get your ass in here.
Roxy, you've been summoned. She might be driving home.
Don't care. Get her in here.
Bro, so that stream's been taken down, you said before?
Yeah. Yeah,
I've had to take down a lot of streams lately.
Yeah, dude, it had to. You can't do that. Like, now, granted, no one was in the bathroom, thank God. But if there was someone in the bathroom, I mean, that's a horrible, horrible thing.
Lady Nerd Artist super chatted $20. Rastov, what happened to your facial hair? I forget what the guy's name was, but you look like you should have a British accent and tell us about how women's hair was done in some obscure Scottish town.
Boogie, what is wrong with you? I can't believe that I had to go, Boogie, I had to go get a fucking fan for this, and then you just leave Rastov by himself?
We thought it would be funny if you came back and you saw me passed out.
No, I wanted him to go get the ear mattress, but that would have taken too long.
Yeah, that took too long.
Was that the plan?
Because he's sick.
That just made me mad. He's not sick, he's got allergies.
No, I got like an upper respiratory thing. No matter. It's fine. Who cares?
All right, while we're waiting, CD-ROM admits to liking beans.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Finally.
Well, real quick, let's deal with the fucking bathroom bandit.
I just pulled over. I'm sorry.
Oh, good.
Listen, I didn't know it was wrong. I was going to do it in my car. I had a bottle of water right here. And I was going to do it in my car. And then everybody wanted me to go to McDonald's first and then do it after. Yes, it was wrong. I didn't know it was wrong because I see girls take pictures all the time. But I did peek my head in the bathroom, make sure nobody was in there. And I was only at the sink and then I left. But it's wrong. I know. I'm not making excuses.
Do you know why it's wrong?
Honestly, I don't know. Well, now I heard it on the way home, yes. But I didn't know because I see it all the time on TikTok.
All right, can you watch a shared stream?
Absolutely.
You see that, right? This is Dr. Disrespect inside the E3 bathroom 5 years ago. He got canceled big time for this, lost all his sponsorships because he streamed inside the bathroom.
Oh, see, I didn't know, Akeem. I promise you, I did not know. And I was there for like maybe 30 seconds to splash water. I mean, I left.
But on top of that, it's like a crime. Like, come on, dude.
I didn't know that.
You know, once again, you and Becky both say, oh, I didn't know that. I thought I could live stream in a public bathroom. And it's like,
Do we just like where's the logic there? Where's the logic there? Like, what if there was people in there? Would you have still done it?
No, I peeked my head in there first. I peeked my head in there. It was completely empty. There was only like 3 people in McDonald's, and then I peeked my head in there. Nobody was in there, and I didn't even go into the stall. I went to the mirror, splashed water on me, showed Becky, and left.
Milkers is suspended for 1 day, so tomorrow Nerds is getting your time.
What?
Nice.
What do you mean?
Dawson
What?
super chatted $19.99. It was my fault, Keen. I sent the dono oopsie.
Yeah, you streamed a public bathroom. You're not going to be live tomorrow.
All right.
It just is what it is. Like, come on.
We deleted the video.
I know. I'm the one that told Mike to delete it. But yeah.
Becky did ask if we can have a list of things we can and cannot do, because even she did not know. She was
Okay, don't break laws.
Guys,
I didn't know it was a law key.
guys, listen.
Absolutely not. I would have used the freaking water in my car.
Okay, listen. Asking for a list of do's and don'ts is impossible because there's like 10 million fucking things that are don'ts. Like 10 million. This should just be common sense that you can't live stream in a public bathroom.
I wasn't live streaming. I was in there, got water on my pants, and left. I wasn't in there streaming like that Dr. Disrespect playing a game or anything in there. But I get it.
I understand, but you're going to do all this in real life stuff? Like,
oh no.
Yeah, you can't do that. Like, come on.
I have a question. I missed everything until Roxy popped up because I was making dinner, but isn't one of the benefits of us being part of the LCU that you should be able to give us information like this so we can go in prepared?
Yes, let me give it to you now. Let me give it to you now. Don't break laws.
I will
You should have a basic knowledge of laws.
I will also help you.
I did not know that was a law because I don't generally think of filming women in bathrooms. So
I will also help you prepare for your streams. Read the YouTube terms of service.
Do you know how long that is? It's like 50 pages of dense legal writing.
Is your paycheck not worth it? Is your paycheck not worth it?
You could probably get through it. You could probably get through it in the 2 hours tomorrow that you're not streaming.
Super chatted $20. Baby did no key.
I'm not trying to make fun of you,
to
but
keep
you
on
can't
anyway and argue.
So besides Milker having to delete their stream, they probably just privated it. They also got suspended for a whole day. So, yeah. It was originally a 2-day suspension because Becky couldn't shut her mouth and just kept on fighting with Keemstar. Let's be real. Keemstar has more experience in this stuff and has more connection. Regardless if you like the guy or not, it is probably better to, keep your mouth shut and listen to what he's saying when it's coming to this kind of stuff. Even I can admit that, right? And to get into this whole thing about common sense and TOS, where you shouldn't go to a bathroom and record yourself, right, at all. Right, you shut down the stream completely. You shut off the audio for the stream so you don't mess up. I don't know why that's hard, right? I don't understand why that's such a hard thing to understand. But I think Becky, in her infinite wisdom, didn't realize that. And obviously Keemstar would say, later, not even this clip, but there's another clip that parallels with Queens. We'll get into that as well. I'll just play them back to back because they kind of just happen at the same time. But my point is that when you're doing IRL streaming, there are rules you have to follow both on the sense of the actual law, right? The land of the law, right? The law of the internet, particularly the platform you're streaming on, and obviously the law of Keem. And I feel like Becky couldn't understand that, and so in her infinite wisdom, she decided to do whatever, not do whatever she wants, but just kind of backpedal or just double down just a bit, and it's dang, why are you like this? How are you this dumb, right? She's a Harvard graduate, and she couldn't figure this out. And obviously, they throw in the whole read the TOS. And Becky's like, well, why should I read the TOS? Why can't you explain? It's well, first off, the man is busy. Second, I'm trying to explain every little question, every little thing. It's going to be difficult when you're either A, interrupting, B, Book is interrupting, or C, you're interrupting, not understanding, you're getting some pushback, you fight for a little bit, and then boom, then you understand it. It's at some point, somebody is going to be just read the stupid handbook. And now, obviously, a lot of workplaces do give you handbooks to read, which is fine, but most people don't read the handbook, right? Most people generally don't, unless you are required to, right? Which is every job, but there are, there's sort of that unspoken rule, right? Where, you don't really read the handbook, but you say you do. Some job, they make you read the handbook, and then they make you do a test right after that. I've done that before, so let's keep moving on, because we are going to come back to this later.
I have no idea. We are on fire right now.
Dude, I'm fucking glad for y'all. Shit.
Okay.
I've been watching y'all since the very beginning.
So she chewed you out and wouldn't let you speak. What did she chew you out about?
basically she tried to explain that she was backing me up and saying that she wasn't agreeing with him, but I don't know, man. It didn't. And when I was in FEC, it didn't sound like that. She said she has done it publicly. I'm not going to deny that.
Why don't you quit? Why don't you quit? Why the fuck are you volunteering for the fucking tech talk?
Because I like tech. It's the one thing I enjoy doing it. I write software all fucking day. I like after this topic. I like learning about this shit.
Why don't you?
It's one thing I'm interested in.
Why don't you say what you really want to say to both Glammy and CD? I'm coming for your fucking job. Say it.
You're right. Because I want that fucking job. I want to be a host. I want to be in that fucking position.
And you want to be a host on what show?
Lolcow Tech Talk. I want that fucking job.
Max,
I want to stay up all fucking. I will stay up all fucking night. I will do whatever fucking thing I want to. I will build fucking
I didn't
content.
catch up. King Cobra didn't work out with Sweet Tea, so I'm next. Was up, sis? How y'all doing?
Oh God.
Y'all got some weird ass days.
Yo.
Tell him you're gonna take that fucking show.
Yeah.
I can, and I will. And my reason is this: I will fucking put in the time. I will put in the fucking effort if I have to. I'm willing to stay up all fucking night writing dockets, gathering up stuff for content. I fucking already did it once for the Glammy crash. I literally had an entire.
He's well spoken. He can crash out on camera.
If
He's
he made
handsome
you
like David
manager,
Spade.
if we made you manager right now, what would you do to the show?
Victor
Who'd you
Farrow,
find?
welcome
Who'd
to
you
Cash Cow.
Thank you, Victor.
You know, here's the thing. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Don't worry about manager. All right. Tell us why you're better than CD, and then tell us why you're better than Glammy at the job.
Because I know what I'm fucking talking about is the biggest reason why.
Viewer of
I literally was looking at
2 seconds.
$19.99.
Sorry, we got a couple of them coming.
Hire this man. Elaluku super chatted $19.99. Admit Glammy is not a host.
Do you think she's a host?
Do I think she's a host? I think she'd be fucking real entertaining when she crashes out like that. I won't even deny it. I think that she's goofy as fuck. And I kind of think that works out with the problem with tech is it's boring as batshit sometimes. And it is. It absolutely is. I won't even deny it. Like, imagine trying to fucking explain how to wire something together. It's boring. So when you have someone like Glammy going there just basically like being goofy and saying some like weird little fucking quips, it's funny as shit. I won't even deny it. It makes it more entertaining. You need to have a balance of both.
What about some of the dono goals that they've had implemented and things like that? What do you think of those?
Which one specifically? Him saying I love pussy?
What did you think of that one?
I thought it was fucking dumb.
All right, I didn't make that one up.
Yeah, I thought that should. Let's see, what was the other one? Glammy not being able to talk and having it like basically having a mental breakdown. I thought that shit was funny as hell. Like,
All
seeing
right,
her
cool.
just
I made up both of them, so fuck it. Yeah, I'll take the W on the $10. That's fine.
Wait, where's Glammy and CD-ROM? Let's get him in here.
Dude, I love company meeting. I love it.
Key might prey upon thee, but Glammy lay me through the ringer of firing G1 last time, rolling on the floor laughing.
Here's the thing. When they come in here, I want you to tell them, hey, I'm not your friend anymore. I'm coming for that fucking spot.
Yeah, you take it.
Take that shit. Yo, get him in here. Get him in here, Rastov. Get him in here.
Glammy, CD, you are required on the fucking meeting floor.
My stomach
right
hurts. I
now.
got butterflies, dude. I got butterflies.
Fucking great.
Yo, Yasmin Martin, welcome to Cash Cow. Oh, this is about to get good. This is about to get good. All right. Oh no.
Now you better not roll over like a little bitch got to. All right.
Yes.
Don't you let Glammy walk all over you.
CD, you hear
Hey,
this?
CD.
Are you watching this?
Hey, got the whole thing. Yeah, I've been watching the whole thing. I heard everything.
See, you know better than anyone. I've been wanting this job since the fucking beginning. You know that.
I know. I absolutely do. I was gunning to have you do this with me from the beginning, brother.
That is true. That is true.
I want to be in this fucking position. I want to talk tech. I want to fuck around, do some goofy ass shit. I literally already got a couple plans that I have for content that I want to initiate if I become a fucking host. On
And Johnny Mora just upgraded his membership to Cash Cow.
I will say,
You on the
one of the
Discord.
first times that Gutsu jumped on, bro, just put fucking gorilla tape on his like hairy fucking body and just started ripping that shit off for $20. That shit was crazy.
Yep.
I'm just so glad he doesn't look like she's here to defend her job.
Super
Interesting.
$19.99. Hire Gutsu.
Well, CD and Glammy,
Yes,
who's
sir.
not here, I got some bad news for you. Gutsu Watsu is now the intern on.
You know, a lot of the time when I keep saying that LCU is like Rome, sometimes I'm more right than I think I am, and I like to not be right when I don't have to, because stuff like this is like, why are you guys like this? Why are you guys so like LARPy about taking what's yours or whatever? And I get it, like a lot of the hosts in the LCU got their position because they just took the position, or they got where they are because they just took it, and Keemstar's like, yeah, whatever, have fun, don't do anything stupid, which a lot of them do anyway. Right, so we have a new we have a new person who's seeking the throne of the, who wants the throne of Tech Talk, which I don't really want Tech Talk that much, because first off, 2 hours of Glammy Lammy, a little bit too much for me sometimes, but also like, I want something else. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I don't know where I'm going with this. But yeah, the guy wants to take Glammy's position. He wants to take what he believes is his, and he's like, I'll put in the work. You're probably going to be putting in more work than CD-ROM. No offense to that guy, but like, I'm not saying he's lazy or incompetent, because that's not right. But at the same time, I don't think a lot of people want, I don't think a lot of people want a full-on tech show, which is not exactly right to say, because there is a lot of people who do stream and who make those type of content. But the difference is those people who make those type of content are generally very entertaining to watch, right? Like, I'm not trying to glaze RTU, but when RTU does talk about tech stuff, and I know the one guy who's been commenting on my stuff, he's like, he's beginning his RTU glazing saga. I'm like, no, I'm not. I promise. I don't like RTU, but like, he's the only point of reference. No, like, who's another tech guy who's there's a few people out there. I can't think of their names because I'm recording it so early, who do make that kind of content, who do get a lot of viewership, but it's all about like entertainment. It's all about the personality. And I'm not saying this guy doesn't have the personality, but also like those people who make those kind of stuff have been doing that kind of stuff for a long time, so they built up an audience. Plus, the issue with the LCU in general is that they don't really expand outwards a lot. And when I mean they don't expand outward, like they don't do videos, they don't do shorts that often on their channels. So in my head, it's like, well, whatever you're trying to do to grow, you're not really doing it. I don't know. It's let's move on.
I said, Beans already has a host role. I just thought you were a single person who was looking for a position in this universe. We thought it'd be fun. And guess what? You could say no the entire time.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, we're just goofing off in the Discord.
We got something else to you might want to look at. Something else new. Such it. You might like.
We never once were like, good Lord, you should do this for a job. It's just like, this is an opportunity for you to like stand out if you wanted to. We were all goofing and having fun. We thought she was having fun. I was slow rolling everything with her and being very transparent with her that this was a crazy idea and saying if she was in for it the entire way. King Scott was like, if you guys hit it off and if you want to go meet him, I'll pay for the plane ticket. And I guess that was one of the things that triggered her, was that he was going to buy her a plane ticket.
I think you guys trying to match her up with King Cobra is no issue at all. I think you guys saying, basically in a roundabout way, this might get you a spot on Milkers is like a huge problem. Like, it's just like, you can't do that.
I disagree. I think the idea of like, if you were dating King Cobra, who knows, that might even end up getting you a show, is not the same thing as saying, hey, baby, if you do this, we'll give you a show. It's vastly different things.
Yeah.
It's a bad look to say anything like that.
And I didn't want to bring this publicly. I wanted to say how I felt to Billy privately. I just want y'all to know that.
Well, the problem is you had so many things in there that were accusatory and wrong, like saying Xylee was involved when she didn't even want to be in the room with you. Mm-hmm. Like, it made me think that you were maybe not coming from a place of mental clarity. So I didn't know what your intentions were. Like, when we were in there, we were goofing, we were joking, and the entire way we were trying to see if you were having fun with us, right? So when this came out the next day, I almost thought maybe you were messing with me, right? Because of how untrue a lot of the things you were saying were. There was a lot of things like saying Xylee was involved.
99 cents. Try backpedaling some more, Billy.
I'm not backpedaling. This is exactly how everything went down from what happened. If the idea of her dating King Cobra, being a Queen Cobra, is uncouth, then that's a crazy idea that shouldn't happen. She's always up on the shows acting like she's interested in other guys. It wasn't a huge leap to say maybe you should reach out to King Cobra and see if you're interested in him.
It's not that. It's the whole like, Roxy needs a co-host, and maybe the Queen Cobra could be on Milkers. Like, that's the thing that makes this thing icky.
Kim, let me just say one thing.
Hold up shit super chatted $27.12.
Billy Epstein and Roxy Maxwell over here.
Let me just say, during the whole time, I told her, King Cobra takes it very slowly. He would want to be friends. A good month or so of him even just talking to you to get to know you. Me and Billy were serious. We care about Cody. We wanted to see him happy. That's all it was.
I think we know for now. Fucking with Sweet Tea. Sweet Tea's just gonna out your ass, right? Yeah. I think y'all gotta stop fucking with Sweet Tea.
But out our ass is a totally wrong way to make us look like the most.
Oh no, we got another Becky on our fucking hands. Sweet Tea's just another fucking Becky. I'm gonna just call it the way it fucking is.
Probably don't want to
You gotta be
touch that
careful.
line.
Yeah, awfully close to quid pro quo. Yeah, I agree with that. It wasn't that, but it's like, bro, it's a bad look. It sounds like that. Lord Rush with the 10 gifted. Thank you so much.
Randy Super Chat at $27.12. Air Billy. This sounds sus. Super sus.
I'll even say that it might be sus. It might be sus. But to me, I followed King Cobra's love quest. I am a fan of King Cobra. As a fan, I want to see this guy with a good woman. I'm interested.
Third time recording this because every time I try to record something, it gets messed up. Dang. Okay, back to the whole point about not dolls, but Sweet Tea. Who, I'm going to say this very clearly. Sweet Tea is an idiot, and I think she's an opportunist. But at the same time, the things she does is so ridiculous, so crazy, so out of hand that it's actually worth watching, because just to see her rile up people. Like, I've never seen anybody rile up not Roxy, Xylee and Billy at the same time, to the point where they're literally just don't want to be around her. It's a great time, right? I feel like, and this isn't, I like it. I enjoy it because it's like, hey, it's breaking things up. It's creating drama. It's creating a situation to talk about. But at the same time, even I understand, like, she goes way too far, to the point where, like, if other people start to hear this and misunderstand what's going on, they're gonna start like, oh wait, this may not be what you think it is, right? The situation is way different, but the damage has already been done, that there's no turning back. And I think because of that, like, Sweet Tea is a liability. But I also think it's like, well, when you have these kind of people on your network, what are you expecting? It's like, I feel like what you're trying, like, your expectation, like, what are you trying to expect from an idiot like this who, let's be real, if you're not careful, she may take down the whole platform, because she's going to misunderstand somebody, which is going to result in her, getting somebody fired, and that's going to lead to a whole event, a whole chain of events that people don't like. And truthfully, I don't even know what to say. Maybe because I think most people are idiots, but at the same time, like, you gotta be careful with these kind of people. I'm not trying to be some type of intel or anything, but you can't trust this kind of woman around you. And this isn't the first time. This is like the second or third time I think this has happened. Now, what I mean about this is, like, well, let me give you some context. Billy and Roxy want Sweet Tea and King Cobra to hook up because, they like King Cobra. But Sweet Tea misunderstood it as, oh, they're prostituting me. Like, no, you dumb idiot. That's not what they're trying to do to you. But the thing is, when it is explained more properly, explained on both sides, it does kind of come off like that. And because of that, it's hard to defend it or even try to get anybody back, because, like, it does sound like that. You can't blame people for thinking that, or even her, but even with that, it's like, yo, I don't know. These people are dumbasses through and through. Maybe that's why they're lolcows. Like, Sweet Tea is on the verge of becoming, like, a major lolcow on the same level as, oh my god, at Becky. People say, Rewind say that, oh, Puff Star is going to be the next Becky. No, Sweet Tea is the next Becky. She hasn't had her show. She doesn't have a show yet. But the moment she becomes the next Becky, oh my god, the amount of content and the amount of people responding to it. Oh, it's going to be great. All right, let's move on. Let's move on to the whatever's next.
Laws in New York and federally. I don't fucking know, and I'm willing to bet you don't, and Keem doesn't know the specifics either, but I'm willing to bet if she was there just showing herself on the camera, probably wouldn't be breaking a law. Especially since our intent was clearly documented. It's not like she's standing in a bathroom with the camera on for 5 hours just to catch people walking in the background.
You can ask Mike. AGP was thrown out of Walmart for tasting.
Again, I already answered that, Tina. If I thought there was anything to even ask a question about, I would have. I honestly did not think of this as an issue. I also go into fitting rooms and take videos of myself wearing stuff too. But I don't take videos of anyone else. There's a difference. That's where I thought the line is.
The main intention was me to use the bottle of water in my car. But we didn't want to feel like we didn't want to scam the fan because they paid $50. So like, it's going to be funny if you're in actually in McDonald's where people can see you, you know, where you're peeing, you're ordering food. Because remember, I was up at the counter. I was like, can you put that on the side? I have to go to the bathroom really, really bad. That was the joke. You know, so that way when I come out, it looks like I couldn't hold it and I peed myself.
Like, this is stuff you can literally argue in a court of law. So obviously it's not just black and white. Mama's the Bomb wrote in the chat, thank you for being a member of 4 months of Cash Cow. She said, I read the TOS. It says nothing about recording in a bathroom, only about nudity. Love you, Becky, Tina, and Roxy. So it's not just TOS. I agree Keem's rules matter too. So I agree with you, Becky. Yeah, like Keem's rules can be whatever he wants them to be, and we got to follow them because we're working under him. But there's a difference between Keem's rules, TOS, and the law.
Right, and Keem is upset because of the TOS thing, not because he's upset with us and we did it. He's upset because he thinks we're in trouble with TOS. We violated that.
Well, he doesn't like that we did stuff that could get in trouble with TOS. He wants to be able to trust us. And that's like, okay, I want to be able to be trusted. Let's talk about the fucking rules.
Yes.
And then Keem is there trying to tell us the rules, and Boogie, as I was just going to say, and Boogie fucking interrupts. And right on cue, here's motherfucking
I'm interrupting
Boogie.
you right now, bitch.
Yeah, no shit.
Tells you most shit you want to learn.
If you fucking start, Boogie, do not fucking start. Google is not reliable. That was my issue with this from the start, you fat
You should try it. You should try it.
Velvet Nightmare, thank you for the one gifted. Guys, if you donated right now and did super chats right now and members right now, it would be really annoying to the Queen's audience. Just saying. But continue. Continue, Becky.
Can't see it anyways, Keem. I got bleach in my fucking eyes. I'm probably gonna have to go get a patch.
Why did you get bleach in your eyes?
I've been pressure wash my house with bleach. Clean the whole goddamn place up.
Oh.
So I can rent it out when I go get my new place.
Well, I wish you really did give out pills because I'm going through tramadol withdrawal. I'm fucking miserable. So
you know who else is having eye problems? Me. I have a bump on this eye here that's fucking massive that I can't even hide. A sty here, a fucking red eye here, what makes me look like I have fucking rabies because I'm so stressed, and then I have to deal with a fat fuck coming on my show and interrupting me and being too stupid.
Keem's not that bad.
For a pay pig.
Keem's not that bad.
Boogie, you.
By the way, I'm surprised you could fucking see. You know, Medusa turned to stone when that bitch looked in the mirror. I'm surprised you don't go fucking blind from seeing your ugly ass every goddamn time you take a. I mean, I don't imagine you actually look in the mirror too fucking often, but if you did.
In case you forgot, Boogie, I don't have hair. That would turn me into stone, you idiot.
I ain't talking about hair. I'm talking about ugly. Just fucking ugly.
Oh
By the way, here's a compliment. That's some good hair growth for 2 months. I saw it earlier without the wig. I hate to compliment you, but that hair's coming in nice.
Oh, can I ask a question, please? Why is it the Keem started to Queens and it jumped off really well? We're the second show.
Tina, bang, bang, at that, bang. Fuck you guys! Thank you, Twisted SMF, for becoming a pay pig.
Oh, fuck no. We're going to die way more than you.
How the fuck did they get? Are we even for pay pigs right now?
It's tied. Okay, no, let's do tied for deaths. Yeah. Right? Tied for deaths. All right, let's keep this going for another, let's say 15 minutes. Let's see who dies more in the next 15 minutes.
Oh, the next death, I'm going hard. You fucking bang me, bitch. Let's go.
Boogie, we all know you want to be banged in your heart up. Shut the fuck up.
Pig face,
hold on,
pig face, 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 pig face.
So these two clips are going to be back to back. Queen and Live went at each other. Even without a redirect, Queen barely even made it to like 1,300 views. So that actually says a lot. Without getting into real fast, obviously Queen won this dumb gauntlet, but also it kind of shows that if people got to pick between Live or Queen, they're going to watch Live and then Queen's, unless Rewind is on next. But they kept continuing with this whole talking point about the IRL streaming, right? You may as well just call Local Milkers Local IRL, because that's actually funny. But the problem is, right, is that the issue with all of it is that they don't understand a lot of the rules and guidelines when it comes to IRL streaming, which is not hard. All you gotta do is just watch a lot of IRL streamers, or just watch their videos or some of their stream talking about IRL, because yeah, it is true, there is a real fear that of IRL snipe streamers, Which, you know what, and I'm going to say now, and I think Keem has to realize it, is, guess what? You know who also IRL streams? Grace. And I think if Grace gets a word of this, I am not advocating for that, because regardless of how I feel about Roxy, because she does entertain me a lot, I don't think she should be harassed like that. But because these are idiots who kind of bring it to themselves, people like Grace are going to come around and mess with her hardcore. You don't think Grace is not going to take an opportunity to mess with Keemstar? Oh yeah, she is going to do whatever she can to mess with Keem's money. Get some payback, which may result in a bad situation. And, Becky fights with Keem more about this, and it's like, girl, just shut up and just take what he's saying as gospel. Like, oh, well, why should I have to read everybody should, or at least, even if you don't read a TOS, watch a video going into in-depth about the TOS. It's like, I don't know. I feel like Becky tries so hard to be smart. Yes, he comes off as an idiot, every single time. There's not really much I can say. Most of Queen was whatever. We're gonna move on to the last part, which is rewind, and then we'll just end it off from there.
I think the hardest part is that there was a lot of people in main chat saying that I was celebrating what was happening to him.
Exactly.
When that was not the case. You even went in there and saw that I was about to bawl my eyes out over what's been happening.
Yeah.
Because like I said since the beginning, whenever I mentioned the breakup, is that I do wish him the best. I don't want anything bad to happen to him. But your actions do have consequences, and you shouldn't have doubled down.
Yeah. You were watching a something be destroyed that you cared for, and it was something that you've been watching be destroyed for a while in some way, and this was a cap on that. So people who said that you were celebrating, I just want to point out that I saw for myself that was the opposite, and none of us were celebrating that. That sucked. That sucked. And Grim,
we were streaming it in the Dolls VC, and it felt kind of like a live beheading. That's what it felt like.
Oof. It was like a if you want to use that word, it was very much a court case. It came down to two men being tried for their actions, and one man was gone, and one man was almost pardoned. And I think hopefully in the future, Nightmare goes on to do great things here. And by great things, I mean great things, because that's what this is all for. We're all here to do greatness. We're all here to be entertained. We're all here to be a positive influence on our audiences. And that was just... It was not good. I just want to bring that up because I know I saw the people saying that you were celebrating, and with my own eyes, that was not the case. And I don't think that you should get that sort of flack.
Not at all.
I know you weren't happy about it.
No, the thing that surprised me the most is the reaction that we got on Dolls. The lack of reaction, actually. We only had one super chat that asked me about the situation, and it wasn't anything bad. The person was just asking, like, hey, are you okay? We know what happened to Grim yesterday. And I'm thankful that the audience has... They're not rough. They truly care about me, which I'm very appreciative of. They truly care about Dolls. And if people were truly horrible, I thought that TTS would have been blowing up with people asking about it, or even judging me for being with somebody like him for 7 years. And people don't understand how somebody is behind closed doors, and people don't understand that people deal with grief in many ways. And what I was watching yesterday, it did seem like the same pattern whenever he is upset, but it also seemed like he gave up. He was getting hate from all sides. It was a rough week for Test. They weren't making the right moves. And then finally he was having to be persecuted in front of everybody. And instead of defending himself, or instead of actually just saying sorry, he decided to double down because he just gave up. He said, what's the point?
You know, there's your mic keeps cutting in and out, kind of like low and high. I think you're probably fine now, so I'd leave it at that. Some people are saying they can barely hear you. Tool Vicarious says I can barely hear her. I think you're good now, though. There was a super chat Grim sent last night during Test. Steak was on, kind of grilling Nightmare about everything. Grim said, kick Steak, let Nightmare figure this shit out. He's the one who's going to have to deal with this after I cut off the anchor. I was the anchor. You wouldn't understand, Steak. I took L's left and right, but you'll never see me bend over for a joke. And if that was Grim's viewpoint on everything, I think he probably was tired of taking L's left and right. You know, that was a pretty big dono from Grim last night. $50 to say that. So he's making a bunch of jokes. He's like said a $5 joke to be like, I think Billy should be Nightmare's co-host. He was making jokes. You know, he was trying to make light of everything. He was offering support to Nightmare through everything when Nightmare was kind of talking to the test audience and talking through everything. And Grim was kind of there through donations since he was fired. He was giving what he could, but that 50 stood out as, you know, Grim saying, I cut the anchor off. I'm done taking L's left and right. I was the anchor of the show. Nightmare's on his own now. So whatever that means, I'm going to take that as Grim's final words on this. And Grim left because he's just tired of holding down the fort, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, the other thing is that right after what happened on live, he decided to go into main chat, and everybody that was criticizing him, he decided to respond to every single one. And even in some of them, he decided to triple down on what he was saying.
Yeah.
And so I didn't want to make it public, but I did have to go into Crown Chat and try to get a mod to at least give him an hour of time out for his mental health, because I felt like he was just going down that hole of being, I don't want to say obsessive, but...
So basically this segment was towards the end, which is rewind, and it's just going in, not a lot of detail, but just kind of talking about the situation with Grim. She doesn't really go into a lot. She even says, like, hey, you know, she texted Grim and asked him, like, hey, is it okay for him to come over? Like, do you need... And he's like, no, I'm good. It's probably the good thing in hindsight. Only on the grounds of because maybe the guy should be left alone for a bit of time to, like, collect his own thoughts. Just saying, I guess. Yeah. I don't know what else I can really say. The other streams, I watched a little bit of Ozzy when I was sleeping. Whatever. You know, it was just whatever. After that, Tess, it was mostly the meaning of... If Tess was just mostly the meaning of Bailey, Nightmare, and good old One Buff Wee. I couldn't remember why. I don't know why I couldn't say his name. One Buff Wee. There you go. It was a meaning of that. It's not really much, and then most of Tech Talk, which is whatever, and that's it really. There's not a lot I can say. It's gonna be a short video, thank God. I don't feel like I'm dying. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Till then, everybody, have a good one, be safe, and God bless.